Hey there guys, thanks for checking out our board game night. Tonight we're playing Montana from White Goblin Games and designer Rudiger Dawn. Alright, so this is one of the Essen releases, and with me tonight, before we get to the overview, is Tony.
Hello.
Martin, this is his copy of the game.
Hey.
Alan.
Hello.
And myself, Jason. Alright, so as usual, we're going to give you an overview of the rules, and then we're going to show you some gameplay. We're showing us playing a round or two, so you can get a feel of the game, and then afterwards we will explain who won and our verdict. So also just to note that this is the European edition, as this is on Kickstarter at the moment from Big Kid Games, but that's literally only for North America and Australasia, I think. So this is the European version.
It's supposed to be a souped up version, isn't it? Every so often they're releasing stretch goals or something which are just better components.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not angry about that at all.
Okay, so basically, what's interesting here is that these have really interesting player boards, as it holds everything you need in the game. So, for example, we're playing a 4-player game, so we have 8 of these settlements, and the objective of the game is to lay your 8 settlements out on this map.
It's basically a race game.
Yeah, and the first person to do it will signal the end of the round. Tony is going to be the first player, so if he does it, we all get an equal amount of rounds. But if, say, for example, I do it because I'm the last player, the game will immediately end, and then we do scoring.
No. It's whoever placed their settlements.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's no points.
There is sort of a if you've all put your settlements down kind of thing, then other stuff happens. You have a big wrestle or something, take the tops off.
Right. So these are the settlements. We all start here in this little wagon corral thing over here, and then we have to basically work our way out from there. So each one of these hexes has a little resource symbols on. For example, this one here has 2 copper and a pumpkin. And then maybe this one, 2 pumpkins and a wheat. You need to spend those to place your hexes down. And if you can get 4 in a row, you can get a bonus. There's certain areas where there's double houses on, so you can essentially...
Just to say, if you manage to do the 4 in a row there, that would have 3 of your settlements on it, because obviously it's a double already.
Well, and that's obviously the point of the game, is to get rid of them. So if you can do those are a really easy way of getting rid of your settlements. To facilitate your making settlements, these are the actions you can do. So we all start with a random selection of workers. I'll get to the workers in a second. We have a cow, a wheat, a pumpkin, a stone, and a copper. Depending on where you are in the turn order, I'm last, so therefore I have $6. And these are the actions you can do. A cow is basically a wild, so you can spend on your turn at any time.
It's a free action to do that, yeah. It's not one of your main actions.
You can get one of the basic resources, 3 money, or a random worker. Not a random, you choose.
A wild worker, basically.
These are the some of the actions you can do. You can spin the wheel of fortune to get...
Well done.
Yeah. So in that case, I would get a wheat farmer and a coal miner. Not a coal miner, a stone miner.
Quarry worker or whatever.
Yeah. Or you can spend wheat to gain additional workers. So in that situation, I would get those 2, and I could spend 1 wheat and move the turner up to 7 spaces to get the other 2 workers. I would just go there.
Each space, you spend a wheat, basically, and then you get the workers that the arrow lands on. So in that instance, you'd probably spend, if you wanted more, spend our wheat and get 2 of any of his choice.
Yeah, awesome. And then that's what that's explaining over there. And these workers over here, they're the ones that we start with. So I've got 2 stone workers, a copper miner, and a wheat farmer. And I can go to this town board over here. And this is where you can gain more resources. So as you can see, I can go to the copper mine, and I can spend a copper worker, as it shows over there, and I can go to the top one and spend 1 money to get 1 copper, or I can go to the second one, spend 3 money to get 2 copper, or 6 money to get 3 copper. Basically,
you can see as well, just to point out, there are 2 sort of little pale silhouettes next to it. So that means you can use a copper miner or any 2.
So I'll zoom in for you guys so you can check it out. Yeah, so basically what's interesting about this, these are not, it's a kind of a worker placement game, but it's not like your standard where, like, I'm going to put that there, then next turn I'll take it off and put it somewhere else. This stays there until this fills up. And then when this fills up, these get discarded back to the supply, not back to me. But let's say I choose that one. I pay the 3 money to the bank, and I get my 2 copper. If I wanted to, I could pay an additional copper miner to get an additional 1 or 2 of any. then that guy will go there. The same applies to the stone, the wheat, and the pumpkin. So I'm not going to go through all of those individually. Just use your imagination. This is the bank. This is a different area. You can spend workers. So, for example, I could send that same copper miner, if I didn't want to use him in the copper mine, to go there and get 6 money. Or I can spend him and his friend to go there and get 8 money, and so on.
Or you probably go to the 10 first, let's be fair, before you go to the 8, and 3 for the 12. Obviously, 3 workers for 12.
Exactly, yeah. Now, the cities area, this is also a little more interesting. This is kind of like a bidding mechanic. So the first person to go there, so I'm going to move these guys, first person who orchestrates this, so let's say I send this wheat farmer, and as soon as I go to announce...
You just basically take your... I'm going to do this, basically, and you get your pumpkin.
So I get a pumpkin for going there, and then let's say I want... These are the rewards that and these are the spaces you can go. This is what you're paying in pumpkins. So, for example, let's say I wanted some of these upgrade resources, and I go there. That means I need to pay 2 pumpkins to the bank, but it's not finalized yet, because now, in turn order, everyone else gets to go. And let's say Tony goes next, and he goes, well, he doesn't really care so much about that, so he's just going to go there, which is going to pay 1 pumpkin to get that. And Martin goes, I want that.
Right, that means you would have to immediately move yours.
So now I have the choice of going there, or I can go anywhere else, basically, except there. So I could go there and now bump Tony out. And then Tony goes, well, he doesn't have any more pumpkins, so he's just going to go back there.
Just go back to town hall, and then Alan obviously gets his choice.
And he goes there. So now we got 1 in each row, and we get our individual resources, and we pay our pumpkins at that point. And that's the town board. That's pretty much how that works. So you gain resources there, which you then use to spend to build your settlements out here. And the first one to finish all their settlements is the winner.
On the point of the settlements as well, you can build up to 3 in one go as well. And for each one you don't build, you gain a money for it. So you build the first one, that's fine, and then either build a second one or take a money, and a third one will take a money as well. So you probably find that you're saving up resources to then put down 3 at once and things like that.
And one thing to note about settlements as well. Let's say, for example, on my turn I spend 2 settlements like that. And then afterwards Alan goes. He can actually build on from the settlements that because you have to build adjacent to a settlement. So he could build there, or 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 there. So basically anything adjacent to that main settlement, and then anything adjacent to anyone else's that else is built. And that is that. So we're going to get started. We'll come back to you in a second when we've played through a couple of rounds and you can see how it flows. See you in a second. Alright, so you join us for the gameplay turn. We've had a few rounds already, and we almost forgot to do a gameplay turn.
We've had a lot of rounds actually, haven't we? It's just kind of flown by.
So this is what the board looks like. You can see no one's managed to get 4 in a row yet, but Tony's got 5 tiles out.
4?
4, and 1 on double.
Alan.
Your maths is terrible.
Yes, especially tonight.
Got 5 tiles actually, like double.
Oh, you have? Yes, of course, yeah.
Oh, I thought I counted 5, yeah. So, Tony is technically winning, and it is Tony's turn.
It's not technically.
He is winning.
Yeah, it's always technically.
Jason.
People are not used to me being winning, so technically.
There's still time.
Right, so let's see what Tony's going to do. He's going to go
There.
ore mining at the quarry.
So spend 6 money.
6 cash.
So just to explain, obviously all 3 spaces were taken up, so all the workers get cleared. He spent 6 money to get 3 stone. And did you do the extra one, Tony?
Did the extra
Yeah.
one,
So you got 4 stone out of that.
4 stone.
I'm going to send 2 to the El Monk and get 10 cash. That's me.
I am going to do an upgrade. What is it called? Town Hall.
Okay, so you immediately get a pumpkin for that.
Huzzah.
Then all of us get our workers.
And we all put them back.
Yeah, because we got
Yes,
no
there's
pumpkins.
So we all passed. Didn't even notice that.
But thanks for going through the motions,
so
Martin.
spend your
Which is nice.
pumpkin and get 2 cash, and you can have an upgrade.
Ooh.
So small copper for big copper.
Yes, please.
There you
Ooh. Ooh.
go. Just to say as well, resources are finite. I can't see it ever being an option, but if it
Issue.
an issue, thank you. But if you're ever required to take resources and they're not there, the first thing that happens is everyone has to discard a resource of that type and then the person then gets their payment. So it's a potential way to screw people.
So no resource hogging. Right, I've got one worker left, so I'm gonna spin for some workers. I get a
It's
brown.
going to go at least round once, by the way.
So I get a coal miner and a stone miner and blah blah blah. And that is a round already. What's Tony gonna do? Just mess me over.
Because it's not an orange pumpkin worker, it's going to cost me two other
But
workers.
it does clear.
Spend one. Give myself 2 pumpkins.
That's interesting, Tony. Because I'm going to go... Yeah, fuck it, I'll go there. Spend 6. And 4 pumpkin.
I'm going to go the one above that, please. It costs me 3.
Indeed.
And I get
3.
marvellous.
I am just gonna take the lowly
Holy
one.
crap.
Lowly one at the back there for 2 pumpkins.
And again, it was full, so...
And back to Tony.
I'm going to have to spin for workers.
What? Now I have to move the camera away.
Now you have to move the gap.
You have to.
Oh, just about. One wheat and 1 pumpkin guy.
Right, and you can spend a wheat to now tick that on if you want.
To get 2 extra workers, which is another.
I won't.
Okay. My turn. I'm going to spend 2 stone and a pumpkin to put that there. Then I'm going to spend 1 large of each, which goes there. It's a double one, so it goes there. It's a line of 4, so it goes there.
Oh. He's got 1 left. Oh.
Pressure! Okay.
Well, that's kibosh my entire fucking go. Right.
I've been worried about that for ages because I've been planning that. It's like, how can I get pumpkins? Oh my god. Please nobody go there because it will screw me over.
You go there. For a pumpkin.
Alright. So back to the bidding again. Do I want... I've got 2 pumpkins. I don't really... you know what? I'm just going to pass. Oh, actually, I was really silly.
I'm going to pass.
I don't know. Let's
That's
take,
it.
let's
So,
take it away.
Tony pay 1, Alan pay 2. Alan, you get 83 resources.
Yes. Okay. One of them, and
Money. Got no copper to upgrade, so I'll upgrade.
Alright, my go. Oh, I think I'm going to put down a
that's
top.
2.
That's all right.
There's only 2.
So, over there, I need a large stone and a pumpkin. I have said large stone and pumpkin. You can't, for example, the large stone and the...
That's actually a good point. When I did that, I only put 2 settlements down, so I actually get a coin. Forgot about that.
So, I'm going to put that there. What I was saying about the large stone, a large stone doesn't count as a more of little stones. It's you either have a large stone or little stones. So, for example, there I need 2 little stones. I can't pay with 2 large stones, for example. So I'm going to put that there, and then I'm gonna, because Martin's built over there, I can build over here. So I need a pumpkin, a stone, a wood, basically one of each. I've got 2 cows, which is wilds, which is paying for the wheat and the stone, and then the rest. I'm just going to dump that there for a second.
Interesting.
Which is going to put 1 there, and then because it's that symbol there, I can't actually tell what that symbol is.
2 houses.
Oh, it's 2 houses. Which dumps that one over there.
Wow, and you've got a large copper on both sides of that.
So that's me.
Interesting.
Tony.
Whoever put that brown one in the copper mine. So annoying. I need to punch you in the throat.
Oh, you know what's so annoying is I have a canteen, which means I could spend it to get another turn. But
Yeah, that's really annoying.
but I don't know what to do with it. It's like
You can save it to the end of this round.
actually maybe I'll do it now. Can I?
Well, I mean, there's never a bad time to use it, is there? Really?
Well, the thing is, if Tony, you'll probably finish the game eventually, and then I'll get another go, which I can then use it on my last go.
Yeah.
So I might keep it for then. It's only me that finishes the game that'll basically call it immediately.
Ooh, so annoying. Okay. 2 stone, 1 grain.
What's happening here? Any more?
Nope.
Oh yeah, I should have got 1 coin because I only built 2 things.
It's easy to forget that one.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this, I think.
Son of a gun.
I'll get El Pumpkin. Now I'm going to go in there.
So you were hoping for 3 resources.
3 very specific resources.
I've got no pumpkins,
got a lot
so
of.
I'm going to pass. And Tony's got 1 pumpkin, so you could sneak in at the bottom there, Tony.
Yeah, but 2 money and 1 upgrade.
Get a mutant pumpkin. Oh, they don't have any.
Is there only two large stone ones?
No, you pass as well. All right, you guys pay your pumpkins.
2,
Both 3.
Yes.
3. Oh, lovely.
Definitely 2 copper.
I'm going to upgrade these 3.
You get a cow as well.
Me? Oh, cool.
You can get those.
Oh, it was really useful that you had those pumpkins, Alan.
Oh yeah, really useful.
What am I going to do? What am I going to do?
I need 1 more resource and I can't decide what to get.
If there's any consolation, you're not getting good to play him.
Okay. I'll take a week. That's great.
Right, now, I am going to be spending these 2 to build on that one.
So it's 1 of each big ones.
Yep. Now, when you build more than 1, do they have to be adjacent? Or can I build that?
No, you build it. That takes 2 things on there. No.
Oh, yeah.
That goes there. Yeah. Okay.
You need to spend more resources to
Yeah.
go there.
And I just spend these 2 on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's me done.
And that's all of his resources as well. All of his stuff.
All my stuff, and I've still got that left.
Right, so this is my last turn. And this is what I have. How can I make this work?
So annoying because I need 1 and I had the resources.
If you hadn't done that, I'd have used that. So I'd have done exactly that same action to do the
Alright,
upgrade.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the for the video. You get the idea. We're going to basically it's just me left that's going to finish off my turn.
So basically, you're going to spoil, so they won't know what you do.
But I have no idea what I'm doing. I want you to just sit here and watch me thinking. So I'll be back in a second.
It'll come back to you going, "Oh, I won! Wow! Oh, amazing!"
Alright, so this is the verdict. I did my turn. I tried everything I could to get down my last 2 tokens. And I've still got 1 left. So I wasn't good enough. Anyway, so we'll have a look at the board. That's how it looks. My last turn I only managed to place 1 down there. And I have a couple of pumpkins and a cow and lots of money left. And I couldn't find anywhere specifically that I could manipulate it to get the other one down. So that means because he's placed all his shit. He has won.
Yay!
And then by virtue of tiebreaker, because I have a cow and Martin does not,
No, my cow went
a wall.
It became into copper, I believe.
So I've come second, he's come third, and Tony is last. And that was a super quick play of Montana from White Goblin Games. So, as the victor, Alan, would you like to give us your verdict? And what did you thought of the game?
I really liked it. It's punchy as hell. Just so quick. You don't build any form of engine in it. There's a bit of what do you call it? Synergy in certain actions you can do, but generally you're just shooting from the hip, which seems quite thematic. Yeah, I really like it. It's good. I mean, I didn't expect to win that, but I got put in a position where I was able to drop down 4 of my caravans, towns, settlements, whatever they're called, in one move. So, yeah, it's a really nice game.
How much would you give it out of 10? And would it be something that you would buy on as yourself, for a copy for yourself?
Well, it depends on the price.
I can't imagine it'd be that expensive. I mean, what are we looking at? 40 quid maybe?
I wouldn't even thought it was that, to be honest.
If you lived in America, you could buy one on Kickstarter now with upgraded components.
Oh, that's cool.
That being said,
He's
I'd be
moving
interested
to America right now.
I don't know what they're going to upgrade beyond the money, and maybe they're going to do painted cows.
No, they'll give you,
What are
like,
they going to do?
Real
Well,
cows.
I've noticed, so far what I've noticed is that the cows have got the little black and white stripes on. These people have printed shit on. So they're like
Right.
dungarees and
Utterly
things.
pointless.
Yeah,
and
I'm okay with that.
I actually think they're fine as they are.
Yeah. No,
But it's free. It's not like it's,
Yeah, I know, but it's fine as it is.
is this just your way of going?
I don't
care
need
with my
it,
games
yeah.
Or whatever.
No,
Shut up.
I'm not that bothered. I think they're completely functional as they are.
So,
No, it's a really nice game. It's really quick. It flows. There was only one point in the game that anyone suffered any kind of AP, and that was right at the end.
There are times when you're like, oh, how can I do this thing or that thing, that sort of thing. And one of the things I really like about it is this is the move I want to do, but it's going to take 3 actions to do it, and that's 3 revolutions basically. So you're desperately hoping that someone doesn't screw it up whilst you're doing it. So you're trying not to look at the spaces and things like that to give any bit of your plan away.
how much would you give it out of 10, Alan? You haven't said yet.
Yeah, no, 7 or 8. I think an 8.
Okay.
I think an 8. No, there's a lot of interaction with it. There's a lot of tactical playing, taking certain positions so you can stop other people or go into the town hall again to get the benefits when other people don't have the ability to. It's an interesting worker placement dynamic where you don't actually
Have your
retrieve
own
them
workers,
back
yeah.
again after you've expended them, but
They are very expendable.
yeah, they're just hired hands really.
That's a good word for hired hands, yeah. Thematic with this as well.
No, it really is. It really is. I like the way that the theme and the skin's actually engaging with the mechanics of the game, and it just works really nicely. It really flows.
How about you, Gubbly?
Yeah, I think sort of echoing Alan's sentiment. The flow of the game is very speedy. You're not waiting around for very long. It's like action, 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 action. Just go around like that. The only real sort of lengthy turn is really on the city action when everyone's bidding, and everyone's kind of involved in that anyway, so that's okay. I like the components, despite the fact that it's a deluxe one. I think they're really nice. I love the player boards. Everything on there is,
Playboards are really
It's got a
good.
purpose.
holding a space. You've got your money in your kind of back of your wagon. You've got a space for all your gear. You've got your space for your workers, etc. And it tells you how to play the game as well, which is really cool. It's really nice. I think visually it's pretty nice. Yeah, and I think it's good. I quite like the way the workers work. Having a spinner's a bit odd, but even though it's random, it doesn't matter that much, and there's mitigating in there as well, spending your wheat to move on and things like that. So all the resources felt kind of useful. So the wheat had the kind of capacity to move that on. The pumpkins aided the bidding, and then the stone and copper were upgraded into larger components. That was quite nice. And you've got that puzzle element as well of how can I get the best out of my turn. I don't want to just put down one settlement and gain my money. I want to put down as many as I can, but knowing that other people can screw up that plan, which is really nice, I think. For some reason, I don't know whether it's just me, something about this game slightly reminds me of Oracle Delphi, in that it's like the kind of race game where you're all trying to do the same thing. And in this instance, it's just put down settlements. And you've got the same kind of base mechanics at your feet, essentially. It's just how you get there. And I vastly prefer this. I thought Oracle Delphi feels very clunky to me in that regard. And it's dry as hell as well. Whereas this, I don't know. I mean, this isn't super thematic. But it's okay. The kind of veneer of the theme over the top is fine. It kind of makes sense. You're getting some cows and stuff as well, just branching out and whatnot, and it's okay. And I think it's a good game. It's not what I'd call a great game, but it's a good game, certainly. And I think I'd give it 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well. I think it's really well. It's actually a really well designed game. It does exactly what it says on the tin, really cleverly. I mean, the components are really solid. You know, you got your little cow meeples and all the nice little veggie peoples or whatever veggie peoples or whatever they're called.
Veggie meeples. I think is
yeah.
the word.
I really think the way the workers work is really interesting. It takes almost a turn or two to get used to that. The fact that they're not your workers, and also the fact that you don't get to go to these spaces until it fills up. So, for example, like I'm just gonna.
I really like the way that works. By
Yeah,
the way, that.
It's really clever. Like, for example, for a large part of the time, I needed money. And the only space available was this one. So it meant I had to spend 3 money.
I'm really worried now, Jason, because there's something on the back as well. I'm really hoping that we haven't used the wrong side.
So basically, going back to that, what happened was I had to go there to get money, which meant everything got cleared off.
Same.
And then the first person can go and chuck down the stuff there again. So that's really interesting. Also, getting resources. You know, you take up a whole slot, basically. So if you don't have money and people take up the early spots, then you need to save up money to get to this spot. And if you need ore or copper or whatever, that's really clever. I really like that. It's really simple but really clever. And I like the fact that resources are, you can't just hoard them, you know, so stop people from getting like, oh, I'm going to take all the pumpkins in the world so no one else can get pumpkins. That's really clever. I like that. And the fact that the game turns swing around so fast.
Literally, white letters, black letters. That's
So
few.
I mean, yeah, this is a really clever game. It's fast. It's lots of things to think about. The turns move so quick because you don't know, the actions are literally those things up there. So it's just choose one of those, go. Choose one of those, go. Choose one of those, go. Really clever. I think it's a really solid game. I think White Goblin Games have done a good job, and I think Big Kid Games will benefit from doing this as well.
Really Good Dawn is a fairly well-known designer. Didn't he do... is it Istanbul? Is that the one he did? He's done a bunch of games, anyway.
Yeah.
I do know the name.
So yeah, for me, it was me as well. I think I give this a 7.5 actually. I think it's really solid. You could play this easily in a game night and conventions and stuff. It's really easy to teach.
Yeah, it is like 45 minutes, really,
Yeah.
isn't it?
And there's replayability as well because these maps, they're not double-sided, unfortunately, but there is a couple extra, and they get randomly dealt out depending on how many players are playing. So 4 players will have this formation all the time, but they won't always be in the same layout.
The only thing I'm a bit puzzled about, so in total, there are 3 tiles with water on it, which gets a canteen, and there are 6 canteens, tiles or counters in the game. I cannot figure out why, because they never get refilled. So when you basically put the game board out, you put a canteen on each body of water, so that'll be at most 3 on the board, and there's 3 extra.
And it doesn't say anything like 4 player,
Nope.
2 on each.
Nope,
What about 2-player?
nope, nothing.
You know what's quite interesting as well about thinking about this now, the tactics of this game, it's almost not beneficial to put settlements out early because you give other people a chance to build off your settlements, which is really interesting. So it's almost like a push and pull of when you want to go.
But you don't want to hoard either, because otherwise
Yeah.
you might lose resources.
Exactly,
Well, I
yeah.
did these 3 here, so it wasn't actually expanding too far out. Whereas if you went in a line, like if the first action was to say do that, then that one would have almost gone.
Yeah.
So because you'd have gone, oh, he's going for a line of 4 there. So you need to be a little bit sneaky about it.
Yeah.
Well, I was trying to do 2s, because on a 2 you can obviously put 1 at the end, 1 at that end, or kind of pop off that end. But I realised that just didn't fucking work.
I actually thought that's what Jason was doing somewhere, where he'd put. I think you had 2 there, didn't you, and 1 there, and I thought you were going for
Yeah.
one. But I wasn't sure how that would work as a line of 4 there, because where'd you put the extra one?
Well, what I was trying to do is because I put 2 there and then I started going 2 there, so I was leaving myself options to go 2 there or 1 down there. But this one had needed 5 pumpkins, so that was the least likely that I wanted to go for.
But pumpkins are actually quite easy to get. I mean,
Yeah.
our bottom one, 4 pumpkins for 6 money is a lot.
And it turns out as well. But yeah, it's a really good game. Let's have a look what Tony says.
Yeah, good game. Not brilliant. Tidy mechanics. Tidy flow of the game. A tidy game.
Yeah, there is nothing superfluous in there at all, is there? It's literally just
It's
as tight as it can be. Yeah.
That's why it's such a well-designed game.
Economic use of your time. I'd definitely play it again because it was only 40 minutes of my time, and it's not brilliant but good enough to play again. 6.5.
Yeah. I think that's fair. I mean,
Well, Jesus. Well, you can get that. For those that didn't see, Jason has literally turned his board over and thrown a character somewhere over into this pile of stuff over here. Good
it's going to take me a while to find that. I think it went down the Eclipse mat, which is quite funny.
Yeah, it's just a neat, tidy, efficient. Efficient is the word for this game.
Yeah, I think that actually
very
does suit it
efficient.
very well.
Yeah, very good.
Very efficient in its mechanics, in its time, in its play.
Even its player boards is
Even
very
its player
efficient.
boards, yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much all we can say. So we used 6.5. You said 7.
7, yeah.
I said 7.5, and you said 8.
8.
Yeah,
This is what, 29?
pretty decent score, I think.
But it's definitely something if you've got 40 minutes.
Yeah.
You're thinking what to do in 40 minutes at the end
Yeah,
of the night.
I mean, it's definitely a step
So-
up from a filler as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
There's more to it than a filler, and it's
Yeah,
slightly longer.
Bear
Than
near, if we were to play this again, this is going to be about the same times it took us to play, what was it, Outpost?
Yeah.
You know,
And if you're interested and you're from the northern states or the northern Mexicans or the southern Canadians, you can go pick this up.
I don't know.
I.e. the Americans
If you're Southern Canadian,
or northern Mexican. I'm just taking the piss. All right, so there we go. We thought that was really good. If you liked it, go check it out. This is not a Kickstarter preview, by the way. This is an actual retail copy. That's why we're reviewing it. So, but if you from those areas, you can go pick this up on Kickstarter now. Or if you're from Europe, check your local retail store.
Oh, we also found out pioneer women don't have feet.
Yeah, she's a wraith.
they are.
All right, thanks for watching, guys. See you guys later.
Counter to find.